Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Behzad Hussain and today we are with two other experts and today we are going to discuss schema markup structured data in detail. In this session, we have with us Kahuna Chauhan. He's from India. Hi Kahuna, welcome to our session. And we
Thank you.
have
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, nice to have you here with us. And another amazing guy with us is Manpreet Singh from India. Hi, Manpreet. Welcome to our session. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
That's great to have both of you with us on this schema markup session. Today, we are going to discuss basics of schema markup. So, if you have ever worried about from where to learn schema markup from A to Z from basics, so you are at the right place. Today, we are going to explore all the details, all the basics about schema markup. What is schema markup? And how to utilize schema markup, how to write schema markup, and how AI tools can help you write schema markup for you, for your website, and for which website types and which website pages, what type of schema markup and what properties you need for your page. We will discuss all these basics in this session. So hopefully you will enjoy today's session. Try to watch the full video, otherwise you may miss some important concepts, and if some puzzles are missing from the whole picture, you may lose the basic concepts that may build the whole building for the schema markup construction for your pages. So I'm going to share my screen, and now we are going to start first some theoretical part, and then we will move towards practical part. So here we have, so this is the website schema.org, and it is a mutual joint venture of Google, Bing, Yandex, and an other search engine. So all these search engines have collaborated to build a general machine readable language. So let's start from the basics. Fundamentals are here. Schema markup. What is schema markup? Schema markup is a structured data vocabulary that you add to your website's HTML. So you add in the HTML, it will not be shown on the front end. It is only at the backend code that only machines can read. On the front end, no one can understand whether there is a schema code or not, because it is a backend story whether you have a schema markup code or not. Is a structured data vocabulary that you add to your website's HTML to help search engines understand your content better. So it is for search engines to facilitate them. It is a collaborative project created by Google, Microsoft, Bing, Yahoo, and Yandex at schema.org. So let's see what Google has written about structured data and Google, how Google is introducing what is the structured data. So let's read from the Google. So this is the main tool that we want to explore, how search engine is going to consume structured data at the backend of a page. So here is the Google's post from Google Search Central, Introduction to Structured Data Markup in Google Search. Google Search works hard to understand the content of a page. So this is the main problem. Algorithms feeling a problem to understand the content of a page. So Google is explaining its problem. We are feeling pain. It is hard for us to understand the content of a page. So what they are suggesting, you can help us by providing explicit clues about the meaning of a page to Google by including structured data on the page. So Google is requesting us to provide explicit clues about the meaning. So this is the transformational step for search engines. They are provoking publishers, website owners to utilize this structured data language. It will help search engines to understand the meaning of a page, and it will be helpful for algorithms to understand the content of a page. Then, structured data is a standardized format for providing information about a page and classifying the page content. This word is so much important for practical implementation of schema markup. We need to classify the page content with the help of structured data. So in the practical session, we will see how we can classify structured data according to the sections of our page, according to the content of our page. For example, on a recipe page, what are the ingredients, the cooking time and temperature, the calories, and so on. Why add structured data to a page? So here they have explained the need, what is the helping source, and how it is helping search engines to understand the content of a page. Now they are going to explain some extra benefits or reasons to utilize structured data to a page. Adding structured data can enable search results that are more engaging to users and might encourage them to interact more with your website, which are called rich results. So there are some schema types and schema property types that help you get some rich results on the page, on the sub results page, that are helpful to get more clicks. Here are some case studies of websites that have implemented structured data for their website. This website, Rotten Tomatoes, it is regarding movies, reviews, etc., added structured data to 1 lakh or 100,000 unique pages and measured a 25% higher click-through rate. Then the Food Network has converted 80% of their pages to enable search features and has seen a 35% increase in visits. So increased traffic due to structured data. Then Rakuten has found, that's a marketing platform. If you are in affiliate marketing, you can't ignore this platform. Rakuten has found that users spend 1.5 times more time on pages that implemented structured data than on non-structured data pages, and have a 3.6 times higher interaction rate on AMP pages, mobile optimized pages, with search features versus non-feature AMP pages. Then all-time famous FMC goods brand Nestle has measured pages that show as rich results in search have an 82% higher CTR than non-rich result pages. So rich results help get more clicks from the sub results page. How structured data works in Google search. So all these information are from Google, how Google is interpreting the need, the benefits, and the backend workplay of structured data or schema markup. How structured data works in Google search. Google uses structured data that it finds on the web to understand the content of the page. So this is the main theme of this whole Google blog post. They try to understand the content of the page with the help of structured data, as well as to gather information about the web and the world in general, such as information about people, books, or companies that are included in the markup. So these, such as information about, when actually Google is not utilizing its technical language that it uses in Google patents and papers or research papers, it is to communicate with layman person in search engine optimization field. So these are the knowledge graph entities, real world entities that are stored in Google's knowledge graph. entities with their attributes. So search engine Google is trying to explain that we use schema markup to build and increase knowledge graph regarding real world entities that are people, books, or companies included in the structured data markup or schema markup. For example, when a recipe page has JSON-LD, the structured data type, or one way to utilize structured data on a page, JSON-LD, one language type, describing the title of the recipe, the author of the recipe, and other details, Google search can use that information to display a rich result for the recipe. So here you can see this is a recipe page, a recipe image explained in this schema markup code. Title apple pie by grandma. This is the name of the recipe. Then star reviews showed on the page. So these have been marked up here. Aggregate rating 4.8 rating value, and review count is 13,000. And then ingredients and the preparation time is 30 minutes. That has been mentioned here. Preparation time 30 minutes. Although all these information are available on the page, in content all these information are available, but still search engine is recommending that we will utilize this information on the sub results if these are available in the form of structured data. So if you miss this structured data in your page, search engine may leave your website and may not show the rich results on the sub results. Other thing, because the structured data labels each individual element of the recipe, users can search for your recipe by ingredient, calorie count, cook time, and so on. So this is an other purpose of structured data. Structured data labels each individual element. I will recall this phrase, this sentence, when we will be actually creating schema markup for a page. Structured data labels each individual element. So whatever content you are providing on your web page, search engines are expecting that you will replicate them, you will elaborate each element with the help of structured data. Structured data is coded using in-page markup, okay, on the page that the information applies to. The structured data on the page describes the content of that page. Don't create blank or empty pages just to hold structured data, and don't add structured data about information that is not visible to the user, even if the information is accurate. So these are the two biggest precautions of schema markup explained by Google. Number one, don't create blank or empty pages just to hold structured data. When page doesn't contain any information, you can use structured data because no information is available for the users. And the second thing, don't add structured data about information that is not visible to user. So this is the clear information, that's the clear borderline. If something is not visible to user, don't mark up in the structured data, don't mark up in schema markup code. So whatever information is visible to the user, only create schema markup for that portion. If you are hiding some information from the users, you can't code it in the schema markup, otherwise it will be a misleading activity. And tomorrow or day after tomorrow or some days after your implementation, machines are machines, they will understand, ultimately they will understand what you are doing. If you are not presenting information on the front end, don't mark up in the back end. Simple. 2 plus 2 equal to 4. Nothing complex here. Structured data vocabulary and format. So now they are explaining supported formats. So they say JSON-LD is the recommended type. In general, Google recommends using JSON-LD for structured data if your site setup allows it. So it is the most recommended format, and we will discuss all these things in a while. Structured data guidelines. So here you can read structured data guidelines, policies. Get started with structured data. Schema.org beginner's guide to structured data. So here schema.org website is referred for understanding measuring the effect of structured data. There is one Google testing tool for rich results. We will utilize that tool when we will write some code. So don't forget to read this page from Google, Introduction to Structured Data Markup in Google search. Each word of this page is a testimony why search engines love structured data, why Google is provoking users, publishers to add schema markup in the page code. So this is the initial discussion. We will continue it. So here we are coming back to our guide. Kahuna, would you like to add something here for the basics?
None.
Key benefits. Okay, so here enhanced search results with rich results.
There's one thing that we can add that it might be useful for the user, the difference between structured data and unstructured data, and how difficult it's for the Google to process the unstructured data, and why we are using structured data. Because in
Yes,
unstructured data, that is paragraph, and Google need to extract all the entity, make all the relation from the paragraphs. But in the structured data, we are defining each entities and their value in a structured way so that it is easier for Google to understand each entity and their values.
that's a great point and very on point concept to explain. So why search engine is provoking us, the website publishers, to add structured data? Because let us see, this is a paragraph form. Google patents call it prose type content. Prose type, that is regular content, no structured way of presenting information. So this is called unstructured content. Unstructured content, and here when we add listicle items like this bullet point, it is a structured content. But overall, all the data presented in the HTML format, whether it is structured content, on page paragraphs, or listicles, or HTML tables, whatever this, all the content wrapped in the HTML code, it is unstructured data. It is unstructured data, but in the structured data, we are providing an other language. We are not writing our normal English. We are not writing is rm. We are not fulfilling our sentences that we have learned in our basic English classes. Here we are translating our page content in an other language. If you see here, there is one tag context and then type. We will explain each of these things in detail, but just to show you, this is an other language understandable by machines, and we are only creating this for the machines. But some elements of this structured data can be annotated on the SERP results. Those are called rich results that Google is showing here. This result will be shown in the SERP like this. There are examples, rich results. Let me show you an example. Apple pea recipe. So this is the rich results. These are the rich results shown on this page. So if I highlight this area for you, See, these are the recipes, and these review schema, and then preparation time, then recipe name, recipe image. All these things have been marked up in the schema markup code, so search engine is able to understand this particular information, and then search engine is able to articulate all these particular and specific information on the sub results, sub features. So these are the recipe rich results. These are also called recipe cards. Let's see other results. So here you can see for each recipe there is schema code for review results and preparation times. If I search Apple accessories prices, so it will show products with reviews or rich results for products. For this result, no product or best knives for meat cutting. This is not the meat. Okay, so these are the products, 6 best products. So it is a listicle best knife. For the plural word, search engine is understanding I want a list. So here you can see this rupees price and in stock value. This is from schema markup structured data code. And then we have a famous store and rupees price, then availability, and then customer reviews. So these information are called rich results, and these are from schema markup. So this is the way search engine utilizes these information on the page. So we are translating our content in an other language for the search engine's understanding. So this is the language. So let's read the definition again. Schema markup is a structured data vocabulary that you add to your websites. And why it is called structured data vocabulary? Because this is the website. Let's assume organization schema. It has their own, this website schema code has their own vocabulary. One thing is schema type, and other thing is properties. So we can't add property that we like. No, we are restricted to the properties that are available on this website. So this is a restricted vocabulary. We can't invent new property. No. So what is there on this website, schema.org? It is a structured data vocabulary that you add to your website's HTML to help search engines understand your content better. It is a collaborative project we have discussed. So if we list down what are the key benefits, enhance search results with rich snippets. I have showed you rich snippets or rich results, better click-through rates when you are providing in-stock availability information or the price or the customer reviews. So buyer's action is easier for decision making. So these items help buyer take decision and to click the result because this product is available. If this product is not available, so schema markup will mark up this information as out of stock. When out of stock label is there, user will not click on it, and where in stock feature is available, user will click on that result to buy that product. So this way and many other ways, rich results help increase click-through rates, improved search engine understanding of content. This is the ultimate goal of this whole schema markup activity, that search engine is requesting us to facilitate our content for algorithms. They are offering us extra opportunity to make our content clear to machines. Why search optimization and other big benefit than knowledge graph inclusion? That they said they identify people, places, or other entities from the schema markup to include in the knowledge graph. Better content categorization. So they were saying translate each element into understandable things. So what was the actual wording? Structured data labels each individual element. So you are classifying. So here they mentioned word classifying. So this is the main thing, classifying page content. So we categorize our content, we classify our content to label what does it mean, what is the purpose of this section, what information we are going to include this particular section. We explain with the help of schema markup vocabulary or structured data vocabulary. How schema works? When you add schema markup to your page, you are essentially creating a data layer. So it is another layer for search engines that only search engine can understand, and it is for them data layer that tells search engines exactly what your content means, not just what it says. For example, the text avatar could mean a movie, a video game, or a profile picture. Schema markup clarifies this ambiguity. So this is all about context clarity. You are using Apple in your content, but what is the context of Apple? So schema markup will explain the properties, whether it is a technology company, tech company, Apple incorporation, or it is a health content and you are discussing about the apple fruit. So another purpose of schema markup is context clarity for the search engines. The semantic web connection, that's another advanced concept here. Schema markup is part of the larger semantic web initiative, which aims to make internet data machine readable. It uses linked data principles to connect information across the web. If we see when schema markup, okay, I want to show you when this schema markup was started, when this project was started. So where is the information? So here they say April 2015. And if you know about Google's announcement of knowledge graph, things not strings, it was on 16th May 2012. So this is the first public announcement of Google from Amit Singhal. He is also a Google patent inventor. Amit Singhal Sarkore often recommends his patents to be read carefully. So he announced that we are now starting knowledge graph. We are able to understand the meanings and contexts of the entities rather than just strings. So now and onwards, from 16th May 2012, such queries are not just words. They contain some meanings, they contain some context. So Google will understand the context of strings. Such is a lot about discovery, the basic human need to learn and broaden. So today I am really excited to launch the knowledge graph, which will help you discover new information quickly and easily. So here they are saying the knowledge graph enables this sentence. The knowledge graph enables you to search for things, people, or places that Google knows about. And if you remember, here they are saying information about people, books, or companies that are included in the markup. So what they are explaining in the knowledge graph, introducing content, search engine is now able to find or search the things, people, or places from the content. And here in the structured data code, structured data post, they are saying structured data will help us understand the people, books, or companies that are included in the markup. So knowledge graph was introduced or started in 2012, and this schema.org project was started in 2015. So these are the members who were there to start this schema.org project. A long list of partners from all the respective search engines. So they started this project of schema.org, and the purpose of schema.org or structured data is to support semantic web, to enrich the knowledge graph, to find the relevant information about entities and their properties. So if you are interested in semantic SEO, you can't ignore schema markup or structured data. If you want to optimize your content for semantic web, if you want to implement semantic SEO, structured data is another layer to support your semantic SEO efforts. So it has a strong connection with semantic web. So Ekahun and Manpreet, do you have anything to add here? Or otherwise, we are moving towards the practical discussion of schema types and vocabulary.
Like right now, LLM is on top, right? It's not that case. Search engine is using schema. We have seen that some LLM models like Microsoft Copilots, they are using schema to understand the pages better. Not all the LLM using right now, but in the RAG model, they are using some kind of a schema.
So there is a public acknowledgement that Bing Copilot uses schema markup or structured data. So one person from Google, this is the man Fabrice Cannell, a principal product manager at Microsoft Bing, confirmed that Microsoft uses schema markup to help its LLMs, like those powering Copilot, understand web content. The structured data integration is crucial for enhancing search visibility, generating rich search features, rich results in the search engine's result page, and improving the accuracy of AI-driven. So if you understand, ChatGPT utilizes Microsoft Bing search engine normally. Basically, if you don't ask it to utilize google.com, it will basically by default will search everything from Microsoft Bing perspective, Microsoft Bing search engine. And Bing utilizes schema markup to power up the large language models. So whether LLMs acknowledge or not, whether other companies like Claude, Gemini, or Google is already says we need schema markup to understand the content. So Gemini is surely utilizing schema markup. So LLMs are also utilizing schema markup. Some advanced benefits are not here that we will discuss step by step in the practical sessions. All the large language models utilize schema markup because it reduces their cost of retrieval. This is machine readable format. For the unstructured content or the page content that you have provided in your native English language, they need to parse each word, they need to create embedding. So there are multiple, or you can say hundreds of algorithms to understand the meanings, the context, the connections of words, to understand the sentiments, to understand the connection between sentences, to understand the connection between entities and attributes. A lot of algorithms to understand your unstructured data, the page content. But the schema markup is translating everything that is easily understandable and digestible by the algorithms and search engines are utilizing to understand the content. So to save their cost of retrievals, to reduce their resources consumption, search engines love to read structured data. They love to understand the page content and the content classification or content labeling with the help of structured data embedded in the backend of a page. So yes, that's a good addition here. LLMs also consume structured data to understand the context and the ultimate information provided in a content piece. Now we are moving towards chapter 2 of our schema markup discussion. That's schema vocabulary and types. Understanding schema.org hierarchy. Schema.org organizes types in a hierarchical structure. At this top is thing, the most generic type. Everything else inherits from thing. Before this discussion, we have two types of information. This vocabulary consists of basically two types or two information or two categories. One is schema.org type and other is property. If I open this one, this property, it will say it is a schema.org property. So there are only two things in schema vocabulary. Number one, schema type, and then schema property to explain the attributes of that schema type. And most of the time, or majority times, a schema type is an entity type. Majority of the times, schema type is an entity type, and with the help of its properties, or you will explain its attributes in a very easy to understand semantic triple format. I will explain this in the practical session in a while, just few minutes. So this is a thing, then creative work, then article schema, article type, and then in the article there are different further subtypes: news article, blog posting, scholarly article. So now I'm going to explain major schema types. For organization and person, we have two main players or main action doers. Either it is a human person. When it is a living person, we have a person schema type to explain it. Individuals, authors, professionals. So whenever a human being is going to be explained with the help of structured data vocabulary, we reveal that person, we demonstrate that personality with the help of person schema type. And whenever we have an other artificial persona as a subject, either it is a company, either it is institute or a brand, to personify that individual entity, we have a broader term, organization. And if that organization or business serves at local area, we have a specific subtype of organization, that is local business. If I show you here, organization property we have opened here, it contains these properties and it has some specific organization types. So these are the more specific organization types that we will utilize whenever we are in that specific type of organization. For airline, we don't need to use organization schema type. We will directly use schema type airline. And then all these information funding scheme, then government organization, local business, the business that serves locally, then medical organization. Organization, you can say, is a generic term. So this is the list of specific organization types. If we are demonstrating any of these specific organization type, we will utilize this organization name, this organization type to demonstrate our business. After these things, organization and persons, so these are the main role players. These are the main, if you understand semantic role labeling, so these are the main action or the role players or the main agents. So with the help of these schema types, we clear the semantic role labeling for the search engine algorithms. There are multiple algorithms that see who is taking the action from this content. So we have one paragraph, search engine will try to understand, so who is the subject here, who is the object, and what is the type of action or what is the predicate. If you understand frame semantics, so it is related. So in this context, who is the agent, who is the main subject that is taking action, so what is the action that has been taken, so what is the predicate. So we optimize semantic triples, and these two are the main schema types to represent a subject. Then creative works, we have multiple types of creative works. It may be article, blog posting, news article, that written content. It may be a book, movie, music recording, video object, image object, recipe or how to, events and actions, event, concerts, conferences, webinars, action, what action a user will take on a web page, whether it is a search action or it is an order action. Then for products and services, we have these types: product, physical or digital product, offer, pricing and availability information, aggregate offer, multiple offers for same product or services. If you see, services are not mentioned here. So services become a subtype in the offer. So what this person or organization offers, that is a service. Reviews and ratings, review, user or critic reviews, rating, numerical ratings, aggregate rating, combined ratings. Then to show the places and locations, we have certain schema types: place, physical location, postal address, mailing address, then geo coordinates, longitude, latitude for map representation, properties of schema types. So now the second thing in the structured data vocabulary, properties. Each schema type has specific properties. You can't say that I want to make this attribute as a property. No, you are restricted to this particular boundary of structured data vocabulary. So there are specific properties for each schema type. Some are required, others recommended or optional. Google specifies that for this particular schema type, you must provide this information. If I show you rich results testing tool that Google recommends to use, so it is a URL of my previous tested results. Now this is the code, and if I copy some code, so we have some examples at the bottom. JSON-LD, I will copy it. I will test here just to show you a glimpse what are the required properties and what are the optional properties. No item detected. Search engine is not detecting this organization because this is not a rich result that Google is going to show on the SERP. Here, search engine is only showing what rich results are available. For organization, no rich result is available. So we need to show you the product example, product schema markup example, where search engine will recognize that whether rich results can be shown for this schema markup or not. We will discuss all these things in detail when we will explain how to test schema markup that you have written or prepared. But here I am just showing you some glimpse what search engine shows rich results. To get rich results on the SERP, there are certain required elements. So here search engine is saying this code includes product snippets, merchant listings, and review snippets. So these are, and there are multiple issues that Google categorizes into critical and non-critical issues. If I remove price, let's assume I am removing the price, what Google will say to us? It will show a critical issue. So here is a critical issue in merchant listing. So I want to know what is a critical issue. Missing field price. So Google is showing this property as a critical issue. Without this information, rich result can't be shown on the SERP results. So these are the required properties. If you want to show rich results regarding your product on the SERP results page, you need to provide price property in your structured data. So some properties are required to show the rich results on the Google search engine result page, and some are recommended to elaborate or classify or label your content, and some are optional. If you add, it is beneficial, and if you skip those, there is no harm. For the product schema, we have these generic properties, or not generic, specific properties to explain the attributes of a product. Name, image, name is required, image is recommended, description is recommended, brand, offers, aggregate rating, review, SKU if you have unit labeling, GTIN, global trade, item number if it is a product to be traded internationally. Now, how to implement structured data? Now we are going to discuss implementation formats. So we have three formats. Overall, three formats we have to implement structured data. First of all, JSON-LD, that is JavaScript object notation for linked data. If you remove LD from JSON, it is an other language. So we are enhancing that language for linked data. So what is the linked data? Data that is presented on our page. So it is a specific vocabulary regarding our linked data. Linked data means our published page, our page content. JSON-LD is Google's recommended format. It is easy to implement and maintain because it's separate from your HTML. So you are going to add an other language in the backend of your web page that is separate from HTML. So it is a JSON-LD format. And if I show you how it looks like in the written format, I am making my screen bigger, but it is not working to zoom in. So I am in the normal view. You can focus on this area. So first of all, we have context. This vocabulary starts with a bracket, a curly bracket, or you can say middle bracket. In maths, this is very common. So here we are wrapping one schema type in curly brackets. In the next session, we are going to break down each practical implementation in detail. So we will discuss where to use curly bracket and where to use the big bracket, like this one. We have this bracket notation also. So two types of brackets we utilize here. One is this curly bracket and one is this big bracket in maths. So we will explain what are the purposes of both of these individual brackets and where to put a comma notation and where to skip it. We will discuss, and where to utilize inverted commas and where to skip it. All these information we will explain in the real practical way while writing a code for specific page. So this schema writing always start with context. So whatever we are going to explain in this structured data, our main context is this schema.org. Whatever will be discussed in this structured data will be discussed in the context of schema.org vocabulary. So this is to hint all the search engines, this is to show all the search engines that this is a separate language according to schema.org notations. So all structured data codes start with context and a specific URL of schema.org. Then after this, we bring our schema type. What schema type we are going to elaborate here? So this schema type we have @ notation and then type. So it is a product related short schema markup. So this product is a entity type. I am just explaining it for you. It is entity type. So every time a schema type is an entity type, you need to elaborate the named entity. So we have a property name. So you are going to elaborate this entity type. Okay, product is an entity type. Here we are going to elaborate a named entity. What is the name of this entity that we are going to explain here? Then the next item is offer. So it is a particular schema type. We are going to elaborate this property with the help of another schema type, that is offer. One basic rule, schema types will always started with a capital letter. Every schema type will have capital letter in the start. First letter will be capital, so it is a product. First alphabet or first letter is capital. Offer is a schema type, so first alphabet capital. Every time schema properties will be started with a small letter. If you break this rule, algorithms will be confused. This is a clear-cut synchronization. This is a clear-cut bifurcation or segregation between properties vocabulary and the schema type vocabulary. We have 800 plus schema properties, and every property starts with capital alphabet or capital letter? Yes, Kahuna, please.
There is also, in Google's document, they have properties listed for certain schemas. So whenever we use a property, does it have to be recognized by Google on that documentation, or should we just rely on the schema.org's documentation?
Yes. So let me explain these things. We have two types of properties, two types of schema types. Two types of schema types. So when I call schema types, let me zoom in for the more clarity. Schema types, two types of schema types here for Google's perspective. Number one is recognized by Google to show rich results, on SERP. Not recognized by Google to show rich results. So Google only provides information about the schema types and properties that it recognizes to show rich results. So you can say schema.org contains 1,000+ properties. Let's assume Google only shows rich results for 100. So Google is explaining only those 100 schema types and properties for which it shows rich results. So all other schema types or properties for which search engine is not showing SERP results, rich results, are still the most important. We can't ignore that. Let me show you from the Google's structured data information. So here is the structured data guidelines. If I show you, yes, structured, after this, structured data vocabulary formats, and next post is about structured data general guidelines. I'm going to show you general guidelines, and then search engine will explain for each property, each schema type that it utilizes to show rich results. So access, quality guidelines, content, all these are information that we will read in the next session, because we will be creating practical code for our schema code for our web page. Then we will read review snippet, here recipe gallery, here video search results. So these are the schema types for which search engine is showing rich results. Google provides information for only those properties and schema types for which it shows rich results. So Google is, in its documentation, is more concerned about how you can get these rich results. So it focuses only on those schema types and properties that help you get rich results on the SERP. Being a search engine, it is asking you to optimize your content if you want to get these rich results on the SERP blue links. And then nesting, when there is one main item and additional items are grouped under the main item, this is particularly helpful when grouping related items, for example, recipe with the video and reviews. Nesting is a prominent concept in schema markup. We will explain it in fullest details. So nesting example, additional tips, video. Then for structured data, they have practical guidelines for each schema type for which they show rich results. So this section, this is the whole section: structured data, snippets. All these things are related to structured data. So site names, site links have been abandoned. Snippets, for snippets, they have this section. And if I highlight for you, where is my highlighter? So it is here. So all this data, all these folders, all these individual articles are regarding the individual schema. If you see article, they are providing information for schema type article, then book actions, then breadcrumb, then carousel, then course list, data set, discussion, education, fact check. All these schema types are those which search engine iterates or utilizes for SERP rich results or rich snippets. So Google is mostly concerned, first priority is those schema types and properties for which it can show rich results, because search engine wants to satisfy the target audience. Its first priority is to increase the click satisfaction. That's why Google is only providing details on those schema types and properties for which rich snippets are generated. For video, and you can read what for each schema type that we are going to provide on our page. If there is a guideline from search engine, we must check those recommendations. For example, we are going to create schema markup code for profile page, our about page, our individual profile page. So Google has instruction profile page structured data, where creators, either people or organizations, share first-hand perspectives. So for this page, for this schema type, search engine is providing some specific guidelines what to do and what not to do with the help of examples. So you can see what information Google is presenting, helping you understand this schema type. And then general guidelines, headlines, search essential content guidelines, technical guidelines. All these information are available. Technical guidelines, then structured data type definitions. So for this property, for this schema type, search engine is explaining its properties. What is the relevant property and what information is required here. So you can see alternate name, all these properties for this schema type. Monitor rich results with Google Search Console. So rich, and your Google Search Console only tracks those schema types and properties for which rich results can be generated. Rich results. But for our page, rich results related schema types and properties are a few one, but we must utilize other vocabulary in our schema markup codes. So whatever schema types and properties are related to rich results production on SERP, we must consider Google guidelines, what they are specifically mentioning for those schema types and properties. And for other schema types and properties, we must seek help from schema.org, properties and schema types. Yes, Kahuna, does it make sense? Kahuna.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so this is the clear bifurcation why Google is not providing information of all schema types and schema properties. So this is the reason Google is only providing documentation for the schema types and properties related to rich results. Other schema types and properties you need to check from schema.org. Anything else to add here, Manpreet?
The other thing that we can add is why we are using JSON-LD as a recommended, because JSON-LD, it separates from the clean HTML. You can place it on the head section of the code. It separates from your page document.
So Manpreet has highlighted a very good point and a technical thing that you need to understand. It is related to your concept understanding. So why JSON LD format is recommended? We have three total formats: JSON LD, then microdata, and then RDFAs. Microdata included in HTML. RDFA again included in HTML. JSON is only structured data format that is added separately from HTML. It has its own vocabulary, its own rules, and fullest information that is separate from HTML on the page. So it means if you provide your microdata, if you provide your schema markup, if you provide your structured data in the form of microdata or RDFA, search engine needs to crawl your HTML to find your structured data. That is again difficult because they want to consume less and less resources for HTML because it is very long. Whole page content is wrapped in the HTML language. So they want to add a shortcut. They want to have a shortcut to understand the content without HTML. So JSON-LD is a separate language and vocabulary is provided by schema.org. Language utilized is JSON-LD. So this is the reason search engine is recommended again and again JSON-LD format, because it is added separately from HTML. If they want to avoid HTML format, that it seems from their intent, because they are again highlighting that JSON-LD recommended. So it means,
And another thing is,
personally, yes, please.
another thing is your page might have other resources as well, JavaScript files and CSS. You can have JSON-LD script data on the very top of the page so that Google can understand your page without wasting any budget to all the CSS and JavaScript.
Yes. In this modern age, you can't ignore the functionality and design of your page. So JavaScript will ultimately be used, and we need to have CSS to design the page. So we have other resources, HTML, JavaScript, CSS on a page. And then search engine wants to reduce their cost of retrieval. So they like to have a separate thing to understand all these things: HTML, JavaScript, CSS. So whatever you have provided and designed in these three languages, search engine wants a separate thing to understand all of these things. So structured data is that gold mine for crawlers with the very few cost of retrieval, lesser cost of retrieval as compared to other languages. And another benefit that Manpreet has highlighted here of JSON-LD, you can add it in the head section of your page, so search engine can find it before HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. So it is another facility. And in the practical session, that is the next one, we will focus on where to put JavaScript, where to put schema markup code, where to put structured data in the head, and why to put, and the practical ways to put structured data in the head section of a page. Thank you, Manpreet. That's a very technical point to understand, and we need to have these concepts before starting the practical sessions about structured data. So JSON-LD format, we have seen this format, so we will utilize only this one. Advantages of this format: clean separation from HTML, easy to generate, dynamically simple to read and maintain, no interference with page styling because it is separate, CSS is separate, can be placed anywhere in HTML, head or body, but we will only place it in head section. Example we have seen for product already. Then microdata is embedded directly within HTML tags using specific attributes: item scope, item type, item property. Example is here. You can see we paste it in the div section in HTML code. Advantages: direct HTML integration, visual correspondence with content, good for simple implementations, but disadvantages: can clutter HTML, harder to maintain, may affect styling. Then we have another RDFAs. RDFAs same as to microdata but uses different attributes. It is again wrapped in the div section along with your HTML. It has different vocabulary attributes like vocab, type of, property. You can say microdata and RDFA are siblings but a little different vocabulary. So that's why search engine says avoid both of these. I love JSON-LD format. So chapter 4, common schema types in detail. How long this session has become? Can you estimate how long this session is?
I guess it's been an hour, but we can discuss this in a practical part, common schema type in detail.
Yes. So I think that's good for this session. The purpose of this session is to show you the basics, to explain you what it is we have discussed, why Google recommends it. We have read Google's content, why Google is recommending us. We have discussed how to separate it from our HTML code. What are the schema types and properties, and what are the rich results that Google loves and provides content about those schema types and properties. We have some technical discussion of schema markup. So we have enough conceptual understanding in today's session. In the next session, we are going to discuss all these, not all these, some most common schema types like article, like product, like organization, local business. And in the next session, we are going to create a full page schema markup code. If you have any question for the schema markup conceptual understanding, you can write in the comments. And in the next session, you can recommend which niche and which website or which web page you want us to create schema markup code, or which industry, either YMYL website, blog page, or a service page, or a product page, or a category page, or a landing page, or a home page, or about page. Which page you want us to create schema markup code, you can recommend in the comment section. And in the next section, we will try to create a easy to understand schema markup code with all the practical guidelines from A to Z, from where to stand, where to start, and where to end, and where to take AI's help for schema markup generation, and how to test, how to nest schema types and properties, and how to create a whole page schema markup as a single unit that search engines love, and easier for them to parse information and to understand the context and the intent of the page. So that's all for today. Kahun and Manpreet, would you like to add something? for the conceptual understanding.
If they want us to audit any schema rather than generating from the scratch, if they have any website that they can share in the comment, we can audit that. We can audit that as well.
Yes. So that's great suggestion from Manpreet. If you have a web page for which you have created schema markup and you want us to audit that schema markup code for your page or website, so you can share in the comments. If you are allowing us to share it publicly, so you are welcome, or you can create, or you can replace the website name and paste in the Google Documents and share the link in the comment section. In the next video, we will audit your schema markup code that you have written, and we can highlight the mistakes or the expansion opportunities, how you can elaborate it for more context and intent clarity for search engines. Thank you so much, Kahuna and Manpreet, for joining me in this session of basic understanding of schema markup. In the next session, we are going to dive deep into this schema markup, all these things in so much detail. So see you in the next session. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to this channel. You are going to learn a lot more about semantic SEO, Chorus frameworks, schema markup, and many other things in between on my YouTube channel. And thank you so much for these two amazing guys. You can follow these guys on LinkedIn and Facebook. They are also going to share many golden nuggets. They are expert in semantic SEO and all these things. You can also learn from these guys. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next session. Bye bye.